Hello guys, it's me Simo Orahara, and in this video we will talk about one of Kubo's answer about the Sternritter Gerard and how he can be defeated. We finally have an answer from Kubo on this matter. So this fan said that Gerard's Schrift is the miraculous letter M, so that the ability of this Schrift is if that Gerard was subjected to a certain wound, his strength will increase greatly. Of course, we all saw how Gerard was getting stronger and bigger, until Zaraki fought him and used the Bankai and cut him into two. And there we saw the medal appear, and then Gerard transformed into a new form. So the fan said that the medallion looks like Gerard's core or heart. So can he be defeated if the medal was destroyed? Of course, Kubo's answer that I have is translated by Google Translation from Japanese to French, and here is the English version. And what can be understood from the answer is as follows. And as a general answer, in order to defeat Gerard, you must destroy the medal. But if you notice, the way Kubo answered suggests that it's not easy at all. Yes, in order to defeat Gerard, you must destroy the medal. But how will you even destroy the medal? If you notice, Kubo has repeated the phrase, if you could destroy the medal, meaning that it takes something more powerful than just a strong blow for that medal to be destroyed. In addition to that, Gerard's strength is not primarily related to the strength of the medal itself. I mean, what I personally think is that the strength of the medal is combined with Gerard's real strength. For example, if we go back to the fight between Ace-Not and Rukia, in that fight Rukia had come with her full power after she unleashed the power of her true Zanpakuto. At first she tried to attack Ace-Not using Shikai, using the ability of the Absolute Zero, and by that she froze Ace-Not. But Ace-Not was able to withstand Rukia's attack, and after a few moments he released his full standing. If you notice, the medallion came out of his eye. The medallion may not necessarily be in his eyes, but the place where the medallion appeared was in that location. And as we have seen, Ace-Not used the abilities of his full standing, and then Rukia launched the Bankai Haka no Chogami. The Bankai with one blow was enough to turn Ace-Not to pieces. Rukia didn't need to search for the location of the medallion in order to defeat Ace-Not. All she has to do is to use her Bankai. Of course, now I mentioned this example of this fight because Gerard had a fight similar to this fight in the end of the story, and we will talk about it shortly. But let's go back to who Gerard is. Gerard and Pernida are not like any other Sternritter. In fact, they are distinguished even from Lily Barrow, the leader of the elite squad. And the reason for that is that they already possess their own powers. And not any powers, but the power of the Soul King. And as Askin said, Pernida is the Soul King's left hand, and Gerard, as it was said in the novel, was given the King's heart. Gerard is not like Pernida, meaning he doesn't represent the entirety of the heart, but only granted the heart of the Soul King, and it was placed in his body in some way. That's why, as Askin said, the letters that were given to each of Pernida and Gerard were given to them based on their powers that they already possess. Like the Sternritter Chasse Domino. Chasse Domino was created by Grimy, and the latter the one who had given him the ability of Generate. And Chasse Domino, at some point when he was recognized by Yuhabach gave him the letter Sigma, and it was just like a symbolic letter because Chasse already has his own power. But I'm not saying that giving the letter will not have any additional effects on the Sternritter. No, there may be a certain boost of strength, or it will make the Sternritter able to use the new voice standing, but it's just these kind of Sternritter are not like the ones who originally never possessed any ability. Therefore, I say that it's possible that Gerard, when he was given the letter M, which may be in the form of a medallion, merged with Gerard's heart, which is the heart of the Soul King, which is the main source of his strength, and in order to defeat him, his heart must be destroyed. And in our case is the medallion. So if we go back to the fight of Gerard with Zaraki and the rest of the captains, in my personal opinion, even if the captains know that in order to defeat Gerard they must destroy the medallion, the match will remain very difficult, and Kubo's words confirm this. We may say, alright, Zaraki cut Gerard into two halves and the place of the medallion appeared. But if you notice, even with Gerard being frozen using Toshiro's eyes in the adult form stage, and Byakuya using the most powerful attack with a direct hit to the head, all of these things and Gerard was able to come back. At first his body was completely shattered, and just as it had been with Ace Note. But the difference is that one of them possessed the ability of fear without any prior strength, while Gerard's base of strength is the Kings of Hearts enclosed in the letter M, which gave him the ability to return with every serious injury. Therefore, I believe that as long as the medal that constitutes the core of Gerard is the center of his strength, there is no doubt that the medal itself is surrounded by some force or certain barriers that make it need a special kind of power to be destroyed. I might find it similar to the Hogyoku. In many times, Aizen's body was exposed to a serious injuries, but the Hogyoku intervened and saved him. That's why I say, if Lilibaro was defeated by a sacred sword that reversed Lilibaro's power, it is possible that someone in the anime will use special power to remove the medal's power, which is ultimately the power of the Soul King's heart. And I mean by using a special power like a power that works against the Soul King. Therefore, I think that the Holy Swords may be present in the anime. Hakyoken reflects the King's light. So who knows that there are secret swords that are able to cut off the power of the Soul King's parts. And I have already spoken in a previous video that Ichigo possesses this feature, meaning that his strength works against such characters. He was the one who was able to cut Ryu and split it into two, and he was the one who was able to cut Yhwach. Therefore, I think that a character like Ichigo with these qualities would be able to cut and harm characters of this level. So I think Ichigo or someone like Ichigo maybe are the ones who can defeat Gerard. Because we must take into account, Kubo has shown us that defeating characters with such strength, it doesn't need characters with a legendary strength, but rather specific ability. Kyoraku used the Bankai, but he didn't succeed in defeating Lilibaro. Nana, who had never carried a sword in her life, came and defeated Lilibaro using her family's sacred sword. I don't know why, but Isshin came to my mind that he could use Shiba's sacred sword. I'm not saying that Isshin weak, no, he's very strong, but he will combine the two features, his power and maybe a secret sword of his family. For example, that sword maybe exists in Kaku's house, and Isshin he will want to use it to defeat Yhwach, and eventually he will use it against Gerard, while his son Ichigo will fight Yhwach, and thus maybe Isshin will be able to destroy the medal. But in the end, guys, it is possible that the last battle of Gerard itself will change, and we may see new path of the battle that will end in the destruction of the medal, and therefore it will remain only to know who is able to do that, because some of you may not know this, but Kubo already began to think about new fights for the third and the fourth core, so I think probably the whole plot of Gerard, as I said, may know serious changes, and among these changes, who is gonna able to defeat him. So guys, what about you? Tell me what you think, and what you think about Kubo's answer, and who do you think will be able to defeat Gerard? Tell me in the comments, and see you guys in my next video.